All things considered, it was a freaking crazy weekend on PrizePicks. I mean, we cashed play after play on Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday were a little bumpy. But I mean, when you're getting 400 to win 4K flex plays done, you don't need to win every pick, right? 400 to 4,000, that's a 10x payout. You're not going to win 50% of your picks. This isn't the same as placing straight bets. Right? So a lot of people ask, they'll wonder, oh, why are you playing 5-pick entries? And I stress this at the start of every video because it's so important, right? Here you can see my results on PrizePicks in 2023. Not saying this to brag, really just to illustrate the point. You have to be placing 5 and 6-pick flexes on PrizePicks. If you're placing 2-pick power plays, you don't stand a chance. And it's just math. We've gone through it numerous times, but if you're winning 57% of your over-unders, so the way PrizePicks works, right, is these payouts never change. It doesn't matter if you take overs, unders, right? The payouts will never change. So if you see a 2-pick entry, if I take an over, still a 3x payout, under 3x payout, right? It doesn't matter if we switch this to a different pick. Any 2 picks is a 3x payout, right? So long story short, if you can select your over-unders on PrizePicks at a clip of 57%, and you're placing 5 flexes like we do, your ROI is going to be 19.25%. You'll have a better ROI than I have, which is currently 13.55% in 2023. And in 2022, it was 11.96%, right? So if you're placing 2-pick power plays, on the other hand, if you're hitting your picks at a rate of 57%, you're not even profitable. Your ROI is negative 2.53%. I don't know how to make it any more clear. You can go through this math. I'll put the spreadsheet in the description. If you're playing 2-pick power plays or you're taking advice from someone who gives out 2-pick power plays, you're never going to make money gambling. I mean, no offense, you literally don't even stand a chance because you don't even understand how horrible 2-pick entries are. You're literally taking your ROI from 19.25% to negative 2.5. Insanity. I just can't even process when people post 2-pick power plays. But regardless, let's go ahead. Let's get into some of my picks. And typically the tool I start out on is either the EV tool or the odds jam screen. So these tools work in slightly different ways, and I'll kind of explain it in a second. But here we can see, the way this screen works is it kind of just shows you the whole market, right? Any market you want to look at, any sport, whatever, NBA player assists is what we're currently on. You can just kind of scan. And what I do is mainly, if I'm playing on PrizePicks, I'm looking for discrepancies between PrizePicks and the sports books, right? So if we kind of scroll, this play is interesting, but it's not on PrizePicks. It's on Underdog Fantasy. But what you're going to notice here is, Underdog has Julius Randle's line at 4 assists. All of the sports books have his line at 4.5. PrizePicks, a direct competitor to Underdog, also has his line at 4.5. So there's no value on PrizePicks, right? PrizePicks is in line with the market where all the sports books are posting the line, which is 4.5 assists. Underdog, on the other hand, is too low, right? So we'd want to take the over on Underdog. Underdog's at 4. We have literally, this is what's crazy about sports betting. You have dozens of data points independently telling you where the line should be set, right? So all of these sports books are saying, this line should be at 4.5. And there's not much juice, right? Most sports books aren't even giving you plus money on the over 4.5 assists. So Underdog's at 4. All the other books and PrizePicks are at 4.5. We want to take the over, right? We found an edge on Underdog Fantasy. We found an inefficiency in the market, however you want to think about it. Whereas let's say right here, right, if you look at CP3 assists, all books have his line at 9.5. Underdog and PrizePicks, they both have his line at 9.5. There's no value in the market. There's no discrepancies, right? As a sharp bettor, you shouldn't wake up and be like, oh, I just want to bet on Chris Paul. People who bet with their gut and emotions never make money. It's really that simple. I don't know how to say it any more clearly. 99% of sports bettors trust their gut. They trust their emotions. That's why they lose money, right? They're not putting up, no offense, none of your handicapper friends are putting up 17K profit by March. So follow the frickin' data. But long story short, you have to look for value. Like I wake up, I look at the market and it's like, oh, dang, there's value on Julius Randle and Underdog. So if I can find some more picks on Underdog, I'm going to play Julius Randle over 4 assists on Underdog. I don't really watch basketball, but that's a good play, right? You don't have to watch basketball. It's all in the market. It's all priced into the market. So the next tool I pretty frequently use is called the positive expected value betting tool. Wow. You can see this new sportsbook we ended up adding to OddsJam, which is called Flith, has a lot of opportunity. It's available everywhere too. It's kind of like Bovada. It's available in California, Texas, Florida, all the main states in the US you can use Fliff. So a lot of money to be made off Fliff. The new Fliff sportsbook has been added to OddsJam. A lot of people asked for it, so we finally added it. But the second tool I use is the positive expected value betting tool. This tool I use more than the screen actually. This is probably where I get 80% of my plays on PrizePicks. And essentially how this tool works is you just put in the sports books you use, right? So typically, Caesars, DraftKings, FanDuel, I'm using all these books. I'm currently in Virginia, but you can change around your state to really whatever you want. But I'm at home. I should actually change this to Virginia. I'm at home visiting my parents, but regardless. So what you can see here is what this, tool does is it similar to the screen. It kind of reads in all the data from the market. So it's pulling in all of these lines on PrizePicks, soccer, freaking NHL. It's pulling in everything. And then it's just showing you, hey, here's where the value is, right? So out of the thousands of odds across PrizePicks, what are the best bets? That is what the OddsJam Positive EV tool shows you. So you can see currently the highest profit margin play, right? And typically I set this to max odds plus 190. But if I'm doing a PrizePicks video, I don't want to see a bunch of FanDuel plays or whatever. So I typically just lower this to minus 119. But typically the only settings I have on the EV tool are the books I'm using and then max odds plus 190. But again, what this tool does is it scans the market and it tells you, this is the most profitable bet on PrizePicks. You can see it's Alex Touch over 2.5 shots on goal in the Canadian Sabres game. So why do we like this? Right? We said before, PrizePicks, right, they don't vary payouts depending on if you select the overs or the unders, right? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If it's a 3-pick entry, a 4-pick entry, right? Overs, unders, it doesn't freaking matter. It doesn't affect the payouts. So essentially what you want is you want plays with the highest possible win rate, right? You want picks hitting over 50% of the time. So what you do is you turn to sports books and you say, hey, sports books, they have odds, right? And all of the sports books you can see here, right? They have the over for touch, over 2.5 shots on goals. They have the over juice. They have the over heavily favored. Frickin' Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker in the world, they have the over for Alex Touch at minus 142, right? So all of the bookmakers, you have you have numerous data points, and this is just in the state of New York. This is just sportsbooks in New York. You have like 9 different data points telling you, Alex Touch is over, should be heavily favored, around minus 140, minus 145 odds. PointsBet has it all the way to minus 155. So again, because books set lines independently, you're never going to get a perfect answer as to what exactly should the odds be. But you kind of look through the data and it's like, dang, all the sports books have the over pretty heavily favored. So clearly getting this on PrizePicks in a 5 flex at minus 119 is really good. And if you're confused, like why are there 2 PrizePicks logos, this is the odds you're getting on a 2-pick power play. Minus 137. Horrible. That's why you'll see I never play 2-pick power plays. 2-pick power plays are for people who like to lose money, right? Why would you bet this in a 2-pick power play if you could go bet this on DraftKings at a better price, minus 135, right? So when you're betting on PrizePicks, you should assume for a 2-pick power play, you're getting minus 137 odds. You should assume for a 5 or a 6 flex, you're getting minus 119, which is much better, right? So here you can see minus 119 is a ton of value. Right? All books have the over heavily favored for touch. That's a play we want to be on. Number 2, Maker under 3.5 shots on goal. Joel Eriksson Ek over 2.5. So typically, I check the EV tool first and I just pull as many as I can from this tool. 1, 2, 3, right? So I only got 3, so I need 2 more, right? 1, 2, 3. Sometimes there's 5, sometimes there's 10, sometimes there's 2, right? I always say this. Sometimes I give out a ton of plays on PrizePicks. Like I think on Friday, which was the day we won tens of thousands of dollars, and I give out all these plays for free on Twitter and YouTube. But long story short, what am I trying to say? Is there was a lot of opportunity on Friday. College basketball going on, lots of basketball in the NBA, lots of NHL. Whereas right now, no college basketball lines out, a little less opportunity. But what we can do is we can switch over to the arbitrage tool. But long story short, I don't, push the bets. Like if there's good bets, I'm literally just showing you guys what I'm putting my own personal money on. Sometimes there's really great plays, sometimes there's not, right? And it's the same with Underdog. I give out a lot of plays on Underdog Fantasy. And you can see, well, these were just for a video, but I have 2 plays open on Underdog Fantasy already, only 1 on PrizePicks. Why only 1 on PrizePicks? There's more value on Underdog today. And we've been freaking crushing Underdog Fantasy. We had a 10K payout, absolutely running up this poor sports book, absolutely destroying Underdog Fantasy. But anyways, the next play I have is right here, okay? Matthew Tkachuk under half of a goal. So this guy not to score a goal is what I have, okay? And what you're going to notice is most sports books, they only offer one-way markets, right? So you'll see, really the only sports books offering two-way markets are FanDuel, which is pricing the under, right? The under is favored at minus 130. And then Pinnacle, which has the under at minus 160. So this play won't show up on the EV tool. So this is a little more complicated of a play because it's not going to show up on the EV tool. And the reason it's not going to show up on the EV tool is there's only 2 books posting odds, right? So if you look at this play on Alex Touch, right, there's a lot of sports books posting odds. So, typically the EV tool, so if we go ahead and I just, let's put in all sports books. So again, the same concepts that we're talking about for PrizePicks, betting on PrizePicks, you can actually see the most profitable bet currently available, given my settings, is on PointsBet. More sports books is better, right? So I'm talking about PrizePicks in this video because PrizePicks is popular, right? It's not the most profitable sports book out there. It's not. So you should get more sports books. More sports books, each book sets lines independently. Never know which book is going to screw up on a given day. More sports books, more opportunity. Really that simple. But anyways, so this Tkachuk play, right? The EV tool requires there to be a minimum number of sports books posting odds on a play. Whereas here, we only have 2 data points for what the under should be. Pinnacle has it at minus 160. These are fantasy sites, right? Underdog Fantasy, PrizePicks. They're not sports books. They don't have odds. We're reverse engineering what their odds would be, right? Like if you go to PrizePicks, there's no odds on this platform. It's just overs and unders. But you can reverse engineer by going through the math and the payouts, which we've done numerous times, so I don't want to dwell on it. But we've done it numerous times. You can reverse engineer what the odds are when you're comparing it to sports books, but there's not like publicly odds on the site. So long story short, we really just have Pinnacle and we have FanDuel. So Pinnacle has this at minus 160. Pinnacle is known to be the sharpest bookmaker in the world. They're pricing this at minus 160, right? So we actually copy the odds jam column. It's just Pinnacle odds. We just copy it. I'm not sure why. We started doing it like a year and a half ago and it just kind of stuck. So the odds jam column is just the same as Pinnacle Sportsbook, sharpest bookmaker out there, sharpest sportsbook in the world. But you can see here, Pinnacle has this priced at minus 160. We're getting minus 119 on PrizePicks. We're getting 41 cents of improvement on PrizePicks, right? This is also an arbitrage opportunity. So this is called an arbitrage opportunity, right? So when the market is crossed, so if the plus number, usually you don't see this, right? Pinnacle has a 40-cent spread baked in. You can see a 40-cent spread. But between bookmakers, there's actually a negative spread, right? Pinnacle has a 40-cent spread, 40 cents of vig of juice baked into their market. But when you compare it to Pinnacle, right, this market is crossed. So whenever the market is crossed, this is known as arbitrage. What it means is one of the plays has to be profitable, right? You can't have that you're able to bet on the over on Pinnacle, 100 to win 120 in profit, and you can bet 119 to win 100 on the under on a different sports book, right? This is a market inefficiency. The market is crossed. One of these plays has to be profitable. Either this, the under on PrizePicks in a 5 flex, or the over on Pinnacle at plus 120. And you can see we have line movement charts and stuff like that as well. But one of these plays, again, has to be profitable, plus 120 or minus 119. Pinnacle is the sharpest bookmaker in the world. We're not betting against them. They have this at minus 160, so we're getting a lot of improvement to the sharpest bookmaker out there. And also FanDuel has this minus 130, so we're getting pretty good value to FanDuel as well. So this is absolutely a play I'm going to lock in, right? So again, arbitrage betting too, if you use sports books, literally means, if you say are in Canada where Pinnacle's legal, if you have Pinnacle and FanDuel in Canada, let's say, you can place bets on both of these sports books, right, and make a risk-free profit. So let's say you have $250 on FanDuel. This is going to tell you, place $250 on FanDuel, place this much on Pinnacle, and you'll make a risk-free profit of $30.68. That's called arbitrage betting. And again, arbitrage betting isn't super common, but all of these sports books, right? Like if you go to FanDuel, so if we just go into FanDuel, for example, if we go to one NBA game, I mean, the amount of different crap they have to bet on, they have like 10,000 odds per game, is they're not perfect, right? They screw up occasionally. So when they screw up, the OddsJam arbitrage tool says, hey, these books are too out of sync, so out of sync that you can place a bet on equal and opposite outcomes, right? So in this case, Knicks minus 21 and Rockets plus 21 between Bet Rivers and Fliff, and you can make a risk-free profit. So risk-free money sports betting, that's arbitrage betting. But anyways, a lot of words. Let's get into the final play I have. Alex Touch over 2.5 shots on goal. Joel Eriksson Ek over 2.5 shots on goal. Cal Maker under 3.5 shots on goal. Literally, we saw all three of these picks on the EV tool. No, I don't need a dictionary. Matthew Tukachev to not score a goal. Marketa von der Roos of over 20.5 total games, which is from the OddsJam screen. 4 hockey plays, 1 from the screen. Let's make some money, maybe.